Steam is dropping some seriously insane deals right now. We're talking AAA games for just a few dollars, massive 90% discounts, underrated hidden gems, survival games, and even some great co-op titles you can jump into with friends. And the best part is, these aren't random filler games. These are genuinely good titles that are absolutely worth grabbing while the prices are this low. So today I've put together another fresh list of the best Steam deals you should not miss right now. Let's start with vRally 4, currently sitting at a massive 90% discount, which means you can grab it for just $3 right now. If you enjoy rally racing, off-road chaos, and challenging driving physics, this one is absolutely worth a look. You get different disciplines, crazy weather conditions, tough terrain, and races that actually require skill instead of just holding down the gas pedal. It might not be the biggest AAA racing game out there, but for this price, it honestly feels like a steal. Next up is Steelrising, also dropping to a huge 90% off, bringing the price down to just $5, which is honestly kinda crazy for a game like this. This is basically a Souls-like action RPG set in an alternate version of Paris during the French Revolution, except instead of regular enemies, you're fighting mechanical armies and giant automatons. The atmosphere is fantastic, the combat feels satisfying, and if you enjoy games like Lies of P or Elden Ring but want something cheaper to jump into, this is a really solid pick. At this price, it's hard not to recommend. And next is The Forest, currently discounted by 78%, which means you can grab one of the best survival games ever made for just a little over $4. You crash on a mysterious island, build shelters, explore caves, survive against terrifying enemies, and slowly uncover what actually happened there. The game becomes even better in co-op, because surviving the nights with friends while hearing strange noises outside your base is genuinely one of the coolest experiences in survival gaming. If you somehow still haven't played The Forest, this is absolutely the moment to fix that. And next we have Ryse, Son of Rome, currently sitting at 65% off, which brings this AAA action game down to just around $3.50, and honestly, for that price, this feels like one of the best cinematic deals you can grab right now. You play as a Roman soldier fighting through brutal battles, sieges, betrayals, and revenge, all with some surprisingly great visuals that still hold up even today. The combat is simple, satisfying, and full of cinematic executions that make every fight feel intense. It's not a super long game, but if you enjoy story-driven action in ancient Rome, this is an easy recommendation. Up next is Serious Sam 2, my personal favorite part of the series, and right now it's sitting at a huge 90% discount, meaning you can grab it for basically $1. And honestly, for $1, this is just ridiculous value. Massive enemy waves, insane weapons, non-stop chaos, goofy humor, and pure old-school shooter energy from start to finish. This is one of those games where you stop thinking and just have fun blowing up hundreds of enemies at once. If you grew up with classic shooters, or you just want something fun and chaotic to play, don't skip this one. And now let's talk about Hunt Showdown, currently 60% off, bringing the price down to about $12. And honestly, this game is absolutely worth it. If you enjoy dynamic online shooters with a Western horror vibe, intense gunfights, and some of the most satisfying sound design in gaming, Hunt is easily one of the best multiplayer experiences out there. Every match feels tense because you're not only fighting monsters, but also real players who are hunting the exact same target as you. You can lose everything if you die, which makes every gunfight feel incredibly intense. And trust me, there are very few shooters that create this kind of adrenaline. If competitive online games are your thing, Hunt is absolutely worth checking out at this price. Up next is Sunset Overdrive, currently discounted by 75%, which means you can grab this underrated gem for just $5. And honestly, this game still feels way ahead of its time. Fast movement, insane weapons, non-stop action, and one of the most colorful open worlds you'll ever see. Instead of hiding behind cover, the game rewards you for constantly moving, grinding rails, jumping across rooftops, and fighting enemies in the most chaotic way possible. It almost feels like a mix between Tony Hawk, a shooter, and complete madness. If you somehow missed Sunset Overdrive back in the day, this is absolutely worth checking out. Next we have Submerged Hidden Depths, currently sitting at a massive 90% off, bringing the price down to just $3. This one is completely different from most games on this list. No stressful combat, no constant danger, just exploration, beautiful environments, relaxing music, and a peaceful atmosphere. You explore a flooded world, climb abandoned buildings, solve light environmental puzzles, and slowly uncover a quiet, emotional story. It's the perfect game if you just want something calm to play after bigger, more intense games. And for this price, it's honestly an easy recommendation. And next is Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, dropping to an incredible 90% off, meaning one of the best stealth strategy games ever made is now only around around $4. If you enjoy tactical gameplay where every move matters, this game is amazing. You control a group of unique characters, each with different abilities and carefully planned stealth attacks, distractions, assassinations, and escapes across beautifully designed levels. The gameplay rewards patience, creativity, and smart planning, and finishing a mission perfectly feels incredibly satisfying. Even years later, Shadow Tactics is still considered one of the strongest games in the genre, and at this price it's absolutely worth adding to your library. And finally, for this batch, The Darkness 2 is once again sitting at a huge 90% discount, bringing the price down to just $3. And if you somehow skip this game, don't make that mistake again. This is one of the most stylish, story-driven shooters out there, mixing brutal gunplay with supernatural powers and a dark comic book world. You're not just shooting enemies, you're literally ripping them apart with demonic arms while uncovering a surprisingly emotional story underneath all the chaos. It's short, fun, memorable, and honestly one of the most underrated shooters you can buy for this cheap. And that's it for today.